All right, welcome to Stock Analysis Friday. Great to have you here on this June 7th, 2024. All right, Stock Analysis Friday is all about looking up stocks for you guys. So go ahead and type those in the comments area and type them in caps. And also tell me if you're long or short or considering a trade like a long trade or a short trade. That helps me kind of tailor the analysis to what's good for you. All right, let me go through a few administrational items here real quick. First thing I want to go over, of course, are the risks involved in trading. Like I always say, without that risk, there is no opportunity. So the two really go hand in hand. You need to control the risk, though. Risk control is very important. It's pretty hard to be successful in trading without a good, solid risk control program. First thing in order to handle risk is always fund your money with your account with money you can afford to risk, called risk capital. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about, for those of you that like to day trade and day trade the futures markets, you can trade money, you can trade that actually using prop accounts and therefore not really have any of your money at risk at all. All right. So that's a good way of doing it. I'm going to do some webinars on that later on. I'll show you a quick, I do have a coupon you can use if you're interested in doing that. But also, too, it's a great way to get started. There is a situation where you pay a subscription fee that's really discounted right now. I think they got like 80-90% off currently. So it's pretty good deal. And it's basically like trading a simulated account until you get funded. So there's really no downside to it. They have pretty strict risk control rules, which kind of force you to do the risk control, which is actually kind of a good thing. So all good on that front. I'll show you a screen in a minute regarding that. In terms of risk, also, if we talk about any stocks you want me to look up, run those by your financial advisor to be sure they're suitable for you. I don't know your personal situation. Of course, they do. Don't forget, we deal always in a realm of probabilities in the market, so nothing, of course, can be guaranteed. All right, books on money management that may help you is A Trader's Money Management System and Money Management for Traders. Those are excellent books on risk control. So if you're kind of wanting to enhance your risk control program, definitely go there. Great information there. My new book, The Art of Trading, second edition, published by Wiley Trading, coming out this year. I think it's coming out towards the end of the summer, early fall, right around that time period. The book is finished, so it's in the hands of the publisher right now. Really excited about it. I think it's going to be the best book that's been released from me, and it's going to be about 500 pages long, so pretty long book. And then I have Elliott Wave Techniques, published by McGraw-Hill. So anyway, I'll put some links up at the bottom of the recording for you guys. Same thing with our software. I created software, been trading, let's see, how long I've been doing it? About 30 years, I guess, right now. About 33 years, I guess, I've been trading totally. So this software is a culmination of what I found works best in the markets, and you can check that out. I've got software that gives you entries and exits based on price patterns. I've got risk control software and scanners as well. All right, here's this little thing on Apex I'm going to share with you. I'm going to put the coupon up here. I guess I'll put it in the comments area too if you're interested, just so you have it. All right, so this is a coupon that I have here that you can use, and it gives you a significant discount. So I like to share that with all my users out there. So definitely use that. And let me go on here. Let me hide that now and keep going. And then finally, also, too, we want you to give us a like out there for the YouTube channel. All right, let's come out of here. Let's go full screen right now, and let's get into the market. So go ahead and start typing your markets in here. And good to have everybody here. We got Lowell, we got Stu, and I'm sure we'll get a bunch more later on. All right. So Bitcoin, all right. How many people out there own Bitcoin right now? We're bullish on that. My target on Bitcoin here is 87,200 up to 106,000. So we're currently at 71,227. We've been kind of basing here now for a week or so, a couple of weeks actually. And I'm waiting for it to turn this pyramid here that's just starting to form right here, green. Once we do that, I think we're off to the races, and I think we'll get to that target fairly quickly. Of course, no guarantees, but that's kind of the way we're looking at it. And also too, I think we might have a pullback bottom here as well. Now, there's a remote possibility, but it's definitely a possibility that if this goes into a more complex correction, it may sit idle here, drop one more time down before going up. That's always the risk involved in trading. So I'm pretty confident of the target on this, and the long-term charts are really super duper bullish right now. So the odds are in our favor that we're going to get to that target. The question is when. If we can break out of this range that we've been in, then it's going to happen sooner rather than later. So we'll keep an eye on that. But if you're long Bitcoin and you're bullish Bitcoin, there is no reason to get out. Stay with it, okay? Definitely stay with that. In terms of what you're looking at here, you've got the 60-minute chart here, the daily chart here, and the weekly chart, all of the same symbol. And in this case, it's Bitcoin. And then also, too, all our indicators are loaded on here. These are the pyramids. This is the optimum wave locator for momentum and Elliott wave counting. This is the PTF up here for precision trend filter, indicating green for more highs. It has a 75% accuracy rate, so it's indicating more highs. Does not tell you, however, when it's going to happen, nor does it tell you if you're going to have any type of pullback in the trend. All right, now, before it reaches that next high, that is. Then in the trend line master here and the fear and greed index called the ERI there. These are fib retracements in blue here. You'll see me drawing those a lot when we look at stuff today. And those are what I use for targets. Up here is our scanners. Here's the Bitcoins up here, or the coins, I should say, the cryptos. So scanning away, and we have a variety of scanners that tell us different things. So once again, on BTC, we're bullish, okay? And I think it's probably going to be a nice trade. All right, Stuart, how are you, Stuart? All right, let's see what you got. SFIX. SFIX. All right, so broken out from a base here. Gotta love that. Big breakout. So from $2 all the way to 378. Looks like it's going to go higher. All right, a couple things here. Right now, obviously, the trade would have been better back here, right? When this bar hit it right here, okay? So now it's, up quite a bit since that breakout. So what do? I would wait for the pullback, okay? If you're long, okay, I don't know if you're long or not, but if you're long, stay long, no reason to get out. If you're waiting for an opportunity to get in, let's put that on the watch list for a pullback, okay? So I'm liking that for a pullback. But for right now, I think it got away from you too much to get into it, okay? Let's take a look at DOCS. All right, so DOCS. All right, nice breakout on the weekly chart. Now, what do I mean when I say breakout? Okay, well, let's open up the weekly chart, okay? There's not a lot of history on this, all right? So that is actually a strike against it. The more history you have, the better. So we've got this meandering place. You have a little bit of a breakout, but I have to be honest with you, it has to break above here, okay, for that to be a significant breakout. So let's draw a line in there and take a look here and see what that is going to indicate right here. So I'm thinking we got to get above that price bar, Stuart, right there. So 31.87, all right, it needs to get to. The high on this price bar is $31.86. So you want to clear it. Okay, and even if it clears it by just a cent, that's okay. Now, this is bullish here, so we should get eventually a big breakout. But what I don't want to have happen is put you in here and then have the thing go sideways for another couple months. So wait for the breakout. I think that's a safer bet on this. It may be beginning. You're starting to see it there. So I would just give it a little bit more room. Also, too, I think you're going to get a pullback here at some point. All right, you have bearish divergence here. So again, I think if this is the first move off the bottom, you've got to anticipate a big pullback. So I would stay away from going at it right now. Again, we can look at this next week. I don't see any reason not to, because I think we need to follow that. All right, let's take a look at GH here. All right, GH, a lot more follow through here. Okay, this is pretty good because on the far right-hand chart, which is our weekly chart, Notice we've broken above this point here. So that is a good sign. First leg up, and now we can get ready for a pullback. So here's how I would play this. Wait for the pullback on this one too, okay? So at this particular point, you've got green here, green here. I'd be all over this in terms of once it pulls back. So you've got a pretty big move up here. Now you want to wait for the pullback. And we see this all the time. I mean, do you remember when Bitcoin surged to like 73,000 in March and then pulled back to what, 57,000 roughly? So if you got in chasing the market, all right, you would have had to wait several months to get even back to the even. Where, you know, and honestly, what are we, 71.5? So we haven't even gotten to the 73 yet. So you got to be careful not to chase markets. And that's what I'm concerned about. All of these, Stuart, are great, okay, but they've gotten away from us, okay, for the most part. And that DOX one just hasn't broken out on the weekly chart yet. But excellent ones to look at. I get it, and they're looking pretty good. All right, good morning to you, Alexander. Good morning to you. All right, Alexander, let's take a look here. Watching to go long. Okay, thank you. CLSK. See, that helps me when you tell me that, because then I can know if you're in it or not. All right, so you had a nice move up here, and notice you're having consolidation right now. All right, you could almost on the weekly chart grab a couple of lines here and draw a pennant, right? So you'll come something like that and something along those lines like that. So there's your pennant. So probably, you know, markets, when they start to compress, it's kind of like a rattlesnake when they coil, right? They're about to strike out. Same thing with the market. So we're seeing a compression, and you can see that very, very clearly on the daily chart. So here's the channel right here. And also too, you got a little bit of a pennant forming here too. All right, you got a situation there and a situation, I believe, something like here, okay? So there you have that pennant right there, right? So you got kind of a situation where it's compressing there as well. So a big breakout on that would be definitely something you want to go to. And at that particular point, the next stop should be around $31.50. So that could be a good double your money one. You probably will even get a pyramid on the breakout. So wait for, what you want to wait for is the breakout then to the upside. I don't think I would take this to the downside, because we're in an uptrend here going to this target here. So if it breaks to the downside, this may be a B wave in an ABC correction. So don't take that, but wait and then take the next wave up. So you want this to be a bullish trade, okay? So I wouldn't go into it yet, but I'll even put this down here as a watch list, but I think this will get hit possibly before we meet next week. All right, let's keep going here. PINS, let's see what we got cooking there. Okay, so PINS, thinking about this one too. All right, so we had a gap up earlier in May after a fairly long trend. Okay, so my concern on this one is that gap a end of trend gap, a middle gap? What is that? And I have to say, because it's been trending a long time at this particular point, let me see how much, oh boy, not much history on that. So yeah, you know, it's hard to know if this is going to keep going, or have we hit a retracement area already? Let's draw those fib retracements in and just see. Yeah, so I think it's going to go a little higher, okay? But I wouldn't take a position trade on this. It's already too close to a possible target. All right, let's take a look at your next one, RIOT, and see how we're cooking there. All right, for a long trade, not yet. We got red PTF on the daily, and we still have a pullback slightly. So let's wait for that pullback to finish and then take a look at it, okay? So just keep an eye on those, bring them back next week, all right? Kumar, how are you doing? All right, AMD. And of course, NVIDIA. Everybody wants to know about NVIDIA. All right, so let's see. Okay, boy, this looks pretty decent. Okay, I don't see any red. I see a nice pullback. This, you know, we talked about this last week. This is still a recommendation. Okay, we put a buy on that, I believe, last week, and it is still a buy. All right, so this is one I'm going to put on the buy list right now. Now, here, I would put your stop on this pyramid here. Do not pull your stops up yet, okay, because it still could have another pullback. So keep your stop at 148.77 or at the bottom if you want to, but you'll get a higher trade size if you go to that pyramid. So that's where I put the stop. Target on this is 225 to 277. Nice pullback reached on here. So in terms of the Elliott wave, for you Elliott wave guys like me, 3, A, B, C. Look at C, equal length or greater than A. So it's hit all the requirements, deep in the target zone. So not a bad trade. And we got a green PTF over here and a green out. So that is a buy. All right, that goes on the buy list today. All right, NVIDIA, NVDA, the talk of the town, one of the biggest stocks in the NASDAQ at this point, if not the biggest. All right, and certainly driving the markets for sure. All right, nothing like, kind of looks like a blast off. Look at that. All right, so definitely wave 3. All right, we're in right now, and we're probably in wave 3 of a major wave 3. So if you take a look at this chart here, this is a 3 still unfolding. All right, this is still a 3 unfolding, but it's not the same 3 as this. This is a 3 inside a 3. So after this, you'll get a 4. Then you'll get a 5 on this chart, which will be the top of the 3 over here. So this is kind of more room to move up. So this is exactly why I'm telling you, the NASDAQ right now, many people think the markets have topped and they're going to crash now. I don't see it yet in the horizon, yes, but I don't see it yet because you have so many major stocks right now in a major move. So you don't have any divergence on the daily chart here on this out. I mean, look at that. Okay. If you were close to a top, you'd have divergence or at least a backing off of that. Now we are in the target right now, but we got green PTFs on every time frame. So this baby's still going. There's no reason to get out of it. There's no reason not to do anything. All right. So would I buy it now? Probably not, because it's a little bit in the mature part of its trend, but it does have some more rooms to go. So I probably base trades on the 60-minute chart to try to catch that last little bit of juice, but I wouldn't take it here either because you got bearish divergence. So you're going to get a little pullback, but I don't think it's going to be a major wave 4 pullback on the daily yet. So I see a lot more room to the upside. This is going to take months to unfold. And that's exactly why I don't think we're at a top in the markets yet. Now, come, the fall, come, December, that time period, most of these major stocks could be topping at that point. And then we have to be careful. But I don't think we're going to get anything severe currently right away. If it changes, I'll let you know. But I don't think so. So that is a good one. I think I would discourage getting in as a new trader here, Kumar, okay? If you're long, just stay long, and I think you're long already. I see no reason to get out yet. Now, the other thing you could do using our software tools, see these are green down here. When these start turning yellow, you can scale out some, okay? And protect that long position in case of a pullback. All right, so you could do that. So a lot of ways you can manage the trade. All right, let's take a look at WMT. Good old Walmart. All right, again, Walmart moving up, watching to go long. Okay, yeah, take this one off your list. It's too far gone already. Don't chase it, okay? AMD is the best trade. That's the one. Instead of putting your money on a runaway market like this, put it on that AMD. Let's go back to AMD. I mean, look at the look at the upside potential here. It's a clear pattern. This is where I'd want to put my money. Okay. Excellent job, Kumar, by the way. All right. So Stuart's asking on NVIDIA, how to sell into strength. Okay, well, I think NVIDIA, what I would do is, you see the green PTF, Stuart, and I know you have our software. When these turn yellow, all right, that would be an indication to start taking some shares off the table. But for right now, I would continue to hold it. We're not yet at a significant top. You might be at a top, a short-term top, because you can see that on the 60-minute chart like I was showing you before. But depending on if you're long-term or just trading this or scalping it, you're going to trade it differently than somebody that's holding it. So that's kind of where you're at. So I would just hold this now until those PTFs turn yellow, and then we'll talk about it again, okay? Good question. All right, let's see what we got cooking. Bradley, how are you? All right, Tesla. All right, so let's see, watching. All right, so you're watching Tesla. Okay, so Tesla moved down into the target range here. What I'm liking about this now is we're getting close. See how it's been moving down for quite some bit. This has been one where I basically have said hold off on this. We want to make sure this is the bottom, okay? We want to see some movement off this bottom, and then we can call this a bottom. But we don't have enough movement off that bottom yet. It's slowly starting to perhaps turn bullish. And I do believe we have a situation here where we'll probably could make one more high. Now, let me just check something here. I probably checked this last week. So the owl's at 120. I'm trying to find the highest mark there, about one. Let's open that up a little bit. So what I want to make sure is to see here, 465. Oh, I'm sorry, 121 and 120. So this one's not quite as high, but darn close, which means this could be a 4-5. Yeah, I think we need to see some more movement to the upside to see if this is a bottom yet. So I would not do it yet, okay? But we'll keep an eye on it, bring it back next week, okay? All right, PFE. Again, AMD is so much better of a trade than that one. All right, so let's just take a look at this. We got PFE already in, and we had that pullback, another surge up. We're also getting close to a couple things here. Okay, so this is very close to going green. If it does, then our target here is a $36.50 to 43. Okay, I'd also like it to get above this bearish pyramid here. All right, and that point for that bearish pyramid is the high of the base leg. So that's 30.29 I'd like it to get to. So, you know, we're close. $1.39 away from the high top. If you wanted to go in early, you have structure here to do so. And we've had the pullback. So if you wanted to take an early trade, you could certainly do that. Now, a couple ways you could do that. One is, let's say you did the trade size. I'm just going to use a generic number. Let's just say it came out to 1,000 shares. All right, if you want to go in early, you're technically going against still a red owl right on the weekly chart. So cut the trade size in half. So instead of 1,000, go in 500. When you clear this pyramid, and when this turns green, go in with the other 500. That way you protect your downside in case this thing trails off again. But I think at this particular point, if you're for an early entry, you could go into that. That's PFE. So I'll put early entry on the buy list, okay? Good, excellent. So, and you're already in it, so I would just stay in it, okay? So you're in good shape. All right, let's see what else we got. Stuart's back with Nike, NKE. I was just talking to my daughter about Nike the other day, but not not from a stock standpoint, but from a shoe standpoint. Nike's run a little narrow, okay? So I end up usually going to Brooks or New Balance. So we had a big discussion about that. But anyway, let's take a look at the stock price here. All right, so Nike, green PTF, that's good. All right, red PTF over here, not good. So are we getting to some formation of a bottom? Looks like it, but let's hold off. All right, so again, nice. I mean, let's open that weekly chart up. All right, that's a wave 3. Do you see that, folks? This is a 3. You cannot, there's no guessing about that. That's a 3. Now we got an A, B, C, and we want to see if this is a bottom. Now, what concerns me is this A leg and this C leg. The C is so much shorter. So this would have to go down a lot before that C leg is the same distance as the A leg. All right. Concerning. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but sometimes it does. All right. You're in the target already, I'm sure on that. Let me just draw the fibs on that anyway. So let's go into drawing tools and grab the fibs. We'll just draw them up here. So you're in the target already. So, all right. So you got to take that into account. So let's see. Sometimes you don't, the C wave fails, but with a red PTF from the 60, I wouldn't touch it, but let's put it on the watch list and take a look at it again next week. All right. Again, I don't know if you're long or short on these already. All right. CB. All right. Too late to get in. Okay. Way too late. If you're in this, you've got a yellow PTF now on the weekly. You got green here. Again, it was kind of like the other one I was talking about where when the PTFs go yellow, you start scaling out of your position, especially on a mature trend like this. And in the meantime, you've also got a pyramid possibly forming here. So if you get one more high and you're in it already, put your stop under there. Otherwise, your stop's got to go here. Okay. And I would have your stops on the pyramids at this point, because if this thing reverses, all right, you're going to have a fairly good correction. All right. I would not buy into it now, but if you're in it, just trail those stops up. All right. Let's take a look here. Dell, D-E-L-L. Of course, helps if I type it in right, I guess. D-E-L-L. Okay. Buy the dip. All right. I think you might be going into a wave 4, so don't buy the dip yet. I think wait until the dip's over. This is going to be a big dip. All right. So I'm thinking maybe $124 to $89 is the bottom on this before it solidifies. And notice the owl over here has gone red. So that is a requirement for a wave 4. So I believe we're in a wave 4 now. Okay. So do not buy the dip. When it gets to the target down here, whenever that comes, then we wait for the turnaround and then you buy the dip. Okay. So the dip's got a little more dippy to do. All right. Kumar, my pleasure. Great to have you here. All right, Jim, how are you? All right, fellow day trader. All right, VOO. VOO. Let's see what we got cooking there. Waiting for a long entry point. Okay. So this one here working its way up to its target that we had drawn in before. So the target's 517 to 558. We just had a yellow PTF here and here. So you're getting in, you're above here. So you've met the requirements of a failed wave 5 if it were to sell off here. So what would you do? I kind of probably have my stop at this pyramid here. Try to let it go as much as you can. Now, because you've had some of the PTFs turn neutral, yellow, possible scaling out area. Okay, you could scale out now on some of that. Okay, and that would be selling into strength with the momentum coming off, but the market making highs. So that would be, that's what the PTF is good at telling you. So keep that in mind. All right. And then if you're going to hold the remaining, put it at the pyramid down here. So that'd be what, 459.43. Take a look at BRT. All right, so VRT now, all right, hit the pyramid here. I'd be out, all right, and we got a red owl, so it looks like we may be now heading into the wave 4 on the daily chart. So now, there's wave 3, can't miss it for anything, right? All right, fib retracements, let's draw those up, see where we can get something here. So we're probably going possibly to 71 or 72 down to 48. So in terms of the overall Elliott wave, again, kind of like that other one in the video, we were looking at 3, 4, 5 new highs. This is a 3. We're still in 3. So this would be a minor 4, and this would be the 3, 4, 5. This 5 here would be this 5 here. Okay, so when you get to 5 here, you want to get out for sure. All right. Now, if you don't want to, suffer through wave 4, you need to get out. Okay. Otherwise, just hold it, and we should get a turnaround by the time it gets to 48 bucks. But that's 61.8% off its high. So you can, there you have it, right? So I'll let you decide on how you want to do that. SOXL. All right, waiting for a long entry point. Okay, good. All right. I would have said go when this pyramid goes, but you got a red PTF here. So the other concern is right now, if this PTF is wrong and we don't take out, what's this bottom here, 44. So basically what the PTF on the 60-minute chart is saying, we should drop down below this low. This bottom is going to hold. I'm pretty sure of that. But what we could get some of that motion before it goes. So I would hold off on going in until we get rid of this red. It's either going to be right or wrong. So when it's wrong, it'll immediately turn to green. That'll give you the green light to buy. But you're so close to the target, even if it was green now, I tell you not to buy it, because we're at 51.87 and the target's 56 to 73. All right. So unless it's a super short-term trade, doesn't make any sense, but the stop would have to be down here. So your risk to reward wouldn't be there. Okay. All right. Thanks, Jim. All right. Let's see what Lowell's got to say here. Lowell, how are you? All right. IS. RG. I don't think we've looked at that one. Okay, good. So let's see, ISRG. Okay. So this is a no-go for a long. Okay. We've had the wave 4. We're in wave 5 right now. Let's see what we've got here for an extension. I think this level here looks pretty good for that. See, so you're already in the target. So, and you got bearish divergence building on basically all time frames, except for the weekly. So probably a little more upside, but again, not enough, I think, to warrant the trade. Let's take a look at RMD. I think it's been a while since we've looked at RMD. So let's see. Okay, so weekly chart, nice bounce. Let's open up that weekly chart. Okay, so beautiful wave 3. Okay, you can't miss that. All right, beautiful there. A, B, C, 4. C is equal to A. So we're probably on our way up to 5. Okay, so a long position makes sense here. So let's see, and basically, let's draw a fib extension in here, right? And get you the long-term target on this. All right, so 309 to 419. Nice trade, okay? And you would be getting in early enough. We got green here, green here. All right, couple things you might want to think about a little bit here. If you wanted to go in now, that's fine. All right, and put your stop under the pyramid. Maybe even back a little further, okay? My concern is on this is that we've had the run up. We have not had a big pullback yet. So we're kind of due for that. So we want to be careful if we set our stop. Sometimes you can get a big pull up here and it can come all the way down. Now it did pull up and pull back. So maybe that's all it's going to do. which is why the pyramids appeared with the stop there. So I think probably if it's a long-term trade, I'm going to put this on the buy list here. But you have to use the pyramid at least here in order for your stop. Don't use a pyramid on the daily chart. And that low is going to be 172.19. But even so, at that stop there, you still have a good 2-to-1 to the target. So I'd recommend this for a long-term trade. If you are uncomfortable with that, wait for the next pullback and then see how far down it goes, and then wait for the market to come back and then go in. All right, but I'm going to recommend that one because the risk to reward on the weekly chart is still good there, and the pyramids are nice there. So that looks really good. Good job. Okay. So yes, this would be a wave 5 entry after a wave 4 is complete. So you're spot on, Lowell, with that. All right, let's go here. FSLR. All right, this one's moved off its bottom here. A little too late, okay? I would not do this one at this point. Maybe if you get a pullback, you can go for one more surge up, but it's basically at this particular point, it's in a wave 3, but it's so far advanced that I would wait for a pullback on this. I think if you got in here, all right, you'd have to put your stop way down here to allow for enough room for this to pull back. And that's like what is that stop? That's way down here. So that's 183. You know, it's 100 points off. That's a lot. Okay, so I wouldn't go into that one. Okay, TAN. You know, sometimes we look at markets and we just miss them. They're too far gone. The idea is there, but the math doesn't work out. All right, so let's see what we got here. Okay. All right, no red PTF. This one's close to turning red on the 60. So we're seeing a little pullback on this right now. You can see it on the daily chart. Probably not going to be something too significant, but by the same token, that's a pretty deep wave 4. So let's move this down here. Yeah, that's pretty deep. I don't think it went into wave 1. Well, it might have. Hold on a second. You know, the rules on Elliott wave, if it goes into wave 1, then chances are it's not a 4. And it looks to me like it went into wave 1. So that's okay. So that means not good. Okay, so it could be a wave 2. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a fun pattern to be in to the long side right now. So don't do that one. Okay, stay out. Let's see. Let's give it a little more time and see what happens with that. All right, SPWR. All right, this one I like a little better. It's coming off its bottom. Remember that other one we looked at where the owl on the weekly chart was still red, about to go green? Same thing with this. So we took out the pyramid here. I'm liking that. Okay, we're close to the bottom. Your stop's got to go at the bottom if you do anything with this. You've got green, green, green. All right, I'm going to put that one as a buy. Okay, it's kind of early and it's long term, but everything's lining up. So that one's okay. Okay. Out of all those you showed me, this is the one you want to focus on. Good job. All right. Let's see. SMCI. This was a big bullish stock a while back. Now it's coming down. All right. I would not do puts on this because it's it's still in a wave 4. Well, could be possibly still in 4. Let me just see. ABC. So let's take a look at this. 3, A, B, C. C is longer than that. That's 4 bottom, which is what we have that anchored at. Now, if it takes this out and goes down, then we're in a complex correction. So that's an A, B, C, D, and should complete on E. Okay. But if this holds, then we'll see a spring up from here. So I don't think there's enough information to say go short. We're so close to the bottom that if that bottom holds, then you'll see a big move up. I'm actually looking at this for a long trade if that bottom holds. So no short trade on that, okay? Don't even do puts on it. All right, let's see what we got. Alexander with coin. All right, let's check out coin here. Coin's the ETF, okay, for Coinbase, or not an ETF, but it's Coinbase, crypto. All right, so nice move off its bottom. All right, all the coins came down and just brushed against their wave 4 bottoms and didn't really go that far into them, which always creates indecision, right? I always like to see wave 4s really complete well, because if they don't, then the chances are they may not be over. All right, a couple things a little bit interesting on this one. We hit the target. We had the wave 4 here. Certainly looks like we're on our way up. And I want to see one thing here with this real quickly. And the high there, because this would have been a B wave, is 264.30, 263.80. So we haven't taken out that high yet. So I'd like it to take out that high. Would give me a better probability that the correction's over. Okay. So that's, and that's kind of the story with all the coins right now. Same thing with Bitcoin. They're hovering right around that B level high. And so, you got to be careful. Now, with that said, we got a green PTF for higher highs. So that's a good sign there. And we've got green over here. So because we have a bullish 60-minute chart, I'm thinking it looks pretty darn decent. Now, you're long at 230. Okay, good. So I would stay long with it for sure. Okay, and let's draw an extension, because like all the other coins, if we have a bottom, then the extension is going to be around 328, 410. So we're on our way up. No use to get out. Now, even if this goes down into what we call a complex correction, in other words, it takes longer to break out to the upside, you have enough green on the weekly chart to feel fairly confident that this thing is going higher, regardless of what type of correction it is. Okay. All right. ARM. So I'd stay with that, especially now. Okay. ARM, not a lot of history on this bad boy. We've looked at it before. All right. Red PTF here, green here. All right. You've been long since 120. Okay. As soon as this PTF goes yellow over here on the 60, I'd probably get out. Okay. Chances are, or I scale out anyway. Let me just see. Give me 1 second. Let me just see where the possible target on the extension for this would be. See, we're getting pretty close to it. So if this goes green, you're going to be close enough to the target. And don't forget, this is red. All right. So that's probably going to go green if we get up a little higher. Okay. So I think you're probably okay with that. All right. So that's saying 148 to 188, and that would satisfy the green PTF on the weekly too. I'm not going to recommend this, but since you're in it already, I would just stay in that one too. All right, let's take a look at your other one, CRWD. You're long at 350. All right, so you're a little underwater on this one, but very strong weekly chart. Technically on the weekly, we're not in a wave 4 yet. A little toppy here. Wait for that 60-minute chart to fill in here. All right, let's see what we got cooking here. Big move up. Trying to figure out here what we got. So we've got a larger here, 3, 4, 5. So we're in 5. This could be 3 of 5, 4 of 5. You definitely want to get out on the next high, because I think that's going to be the end of 3. So, okay, so we have no red PTF there. All right, so 3 is still unfolding. All right, I think we're in 5 right now of this 3. So when you break this high here, trail your stops up close, this should turn yellow, and there you have it. Okay. So I guess I would hold that one too. But that's getting close to a major high. Now, there is an outside possibility that the high could be in, but I don't think so. Okay. And I put my stop under this level here, under here, in case this thing comes back down. Because then if it goes into a major 4, then it's going to be then you're going to go probably down into this area here. Okay. Anyway, I'll let you play that as you see fit. Okay. It's not a great trade. I'll say that right now. All right. Let's keep going here. Lol, let's see. Is that IIPR, I guess? IIPR. Whoop, I typed it in wrong. IIPR. All right, give that a second to load. All right, so let's see what we got cooking here. All right, these are property REITs. Okay, gotcha. All right, red PTF here, not a good sign. If anything, a short trade could be initiated with a target down here. So the target on this could be 104.10. We're at 106, so you're talking about a short-term trade. And I don't think I'd even take that, okay? Yeah, so we'll see what happens. You know, real estate's, it's funny now because now the numbers came out and they don't think the rates are coming down at all now. So the July, you know, they were thinking about a July rate cut, I think, and that's off the table now, I think, at least based on the latest numbers. All right, let's take a look at SAFE. All right, all these real estate stocks have red PTFs, at least on one time frame, so we're still heading down. We haven't seen the bottom on real estate yet. All right, let's take a look at NNN, see if that's any different. Green short-term, red long-term. So this one has possibly one more little step up here, but I don't see a trade because the PTF is only having a target based on this high, which is 42.87, and we're at 42.37. So why bother, right? And we got a big red PTF over here. So no real estate REITs to the long side right now, okay? Maybe short some if you want. All right, let's take a look. Dip his way forward. Okay, Bradley, no problem. Glad to have you here. All right, URA. All right, so we drew a trend line up on this one here. Okay, indicating the trend has not technically broken yet. You still got a red PTF. We got a red PTF this week on the 60-minute chart. So we're probably going to go back down to that trend line. And again, it's such a, you know, in terms of trading this, couple things. One is, first of all, it's a long trend. So it's due for a kind of a major correction at some point. Yes, it's above the trend line, but look at the volatility. Very tough to keep your stops unless you literally put it on the other side of the trend line. So let's see. I think it's probably going to come down to the trend line. Let's see if it goes through it or not, but there's no trade there yet. Okay. All right. URNM. Let's take a look at that one. Lowell, see what we got here. All right. Okay, so it's currently pulling back, but we have a green PTF on that short term. That green PTF holds, we'll have another nice long trade because that high on the PTF is way up around 60. So let's see how far down this comes before it turns around. I would not go into it yet. Still have a red PTF. This would be a short 60-minute trade, though. Okay, that would be a short 60-minute trade. And then one more high, and then you'd want to be out of it. So it's not a position trade for that long a period if we get a bottom here on the 60-minute chart, okay? All right, let's take a look at CCJ. You guys are coming up with some good ones. All right, CCJ. Again, you missed it. Yep. Don't go chasing this. Okay. At this time. You know, sometimes we miss it. Nothing more we can say, right? All right, let's take a look at your next one, DNN. Okay, so this one's pulling back, but the trend has been up for so long, so I'd be very afraid of going long. You know, when you look at this, when you look at a trend that's mature like this, think of the resistance situation. If it breaks the channel, there's so much room for it to move down for a correction. All right, this is, you know, this is kind of a punch to go here, but this is a free fall if it goes down below here. So the longer a trend is in place, the more dangerous the trade is in the direction of the trend. Now, in the beginning or the middle, it's fine, but towards the end, it becomes actually a more risky trade. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. We still got some green owl there. We got a little bearish divergence inside the owl. You can see that here. So again, you know, when I look at something like this, I know it's uranium, but it looks to me like it's coming down. We got bearish here. I would rather play AMD, okay? Uranium's not quite there yet. All right, Alexander, laundry list here. Hey, Alexander, we're going to do another fall tutorial here in Tucson, so you might want to think about that. We're going to be covering on that one. We probably are going to day trade also on one of the days. So you can check that out. Okay. RTX. We'll let everybody know when we're going to have that. All right. RTX. Let's see what we got cooking here. You're long at 107. Okay. So you're a little bit in the profit there. All right. Green PTF. Extended daily trade, but that's okay. All right. So your stop probably should be at this pyramid in case there's a reversal. You got a little bearish divergence here. You got bearish divergence here. I would probably, once this PTF goes yellow, I would trail my stops right up under the price bars because I'd be getting ready for a big sell-off on this. Correction, okay? Correction. And Amazon, AMZN. All right, reaching into its target zone. I bought some things the other day on Amazon that probably helped it. All right, so I got to tell you, I remember when Amazon first came out. Remember, it just sold books. I thought that was the dumbest name for the company. I thought that was I just didn't think that this company would go anywhere. And now look at it, right? Shows you how much I know. Okay, so there's Amazon. Let's see what we got. He's long at 190, so you're a little underwater in this. You're getting in trends a little late, Alexander. All right. Now, if you're using a lower time frame, let me know, because this would have been an okay trade from a long point, but it still kind of is inside a messy channel, right? So I don't see the short-term trade. A long-term trade, different, okay? You would have been in already at around 100 after this pullback, okay? And then you'd be taking it up here to 198.270. But it looks to me like you're getting in late. So you got to be careful about that, okay? Let's take a look at Google. All right, Google, you're in at 170. Same thing with this, and you got a red PTF here. So, you know, it's kind of Russian roulette. You're already in a category here where you've got a fairly extensive trend. So just be careful, okay, on these. Try to get in earlier on trades than later. And if you get in later, use the 60-minute chart because you're only going after a scalp. All right. Frank, how are you? Good to have you here. T-E-V-A. Tiva, our favorite, Tiva. All right, so Tiva, you're looking at Tiva. Okay, so again, very similar to what I was saying with Alexander is it's already up quite a lot on the daily and weekly charts. So it's too late to get in. wait for a pullback, and then we'll take a look at it. You know, just because I tell you not to get in doesn't mean it's not in a big long-term move. It just means it's a risky trade for a short-term trader, a position trader, because we use stops. And so your stops have got to be set on levels to get you out when the trend reverses. So if you get in late on a trend, you're going to get stopped out if you're a position trader, right? So you got to be careful about that. I would not do this one. Do AMD instead. All right. Let's see what else we got. Anything else? Wow. Going once, going twice. Let me leave it here for a minute. There's sometimes a little delay on people typing stuff in. So we've got 2, 1, 2, 4 today. 1, 2. I'll go over those in a minute. That's pretty good. All right, let me just check the overall markets. Let me go behind me here. So the Dow's up about 73, and Nasdaq's down a tad. Let's see what the crypto's doing here. Currencies. Crypto's about 71, 79 right now. Crypto seems to be basing in the 7,000 range, which is good. All right, a couple more coming in. Let's see what we got. Great picks, everyone. Yes, Lowell, you're welcome. Thank you. All right, Jim is here with USO. Okay, this is the oil ETF. All right, so we're going to look at this here. And it came down into a target. Looks like we're seeing a reversal. Our major bottom, if we look on the weekly chart for oil right now on this wave 4, we think completion is here. And then we've gone into this, actually it's almost a pennant here. So I would expect a breakout with oil at some point. Now we got a red PTF on the 60-minute chart. So for right now, and even if you draw a trend line here on the daily, right now this correction seems to be still in place. Now, the long-term bottom is around 57. Let me just get that exact. So the long-term bottom, let me just erase that so I can see it clearly, is on this weekly chart. And we're looking right around 57.82, so 83, I'm sorry, 57.83. And we're at 73.13. So we're still far away from the major bottom, okay? And on the daily chart, that major bottom's over here. So if you were going to buy into oil, I would wait. Let's see if it comes down a little bit better. If you're in it, like we are already, just keep that stop, you know, low. I think you can even have it here at this point. Let me just make sure we broke that high. I believe we did here. So that's 81.05 and 81.83. Yeah. So your stop can be right where my blue line is. All right. On this daily chart, which would be a low here of 63.84. Okay. That should hold unless there's a problem. Okay. So stay the course. If you're going to enter it, wait. Okay. If you're in it already, keep that stop below that area I just showed you. All right. Anything else? So this is not a buy for new people yet. Probably will be in a little while, but not yet. All right. Anything else? Do we run over and take a look at the intraday charts here and see what's cooking on the micro E-minis and so forth? Why don't we run over there and take a look? All right. So here we got the intraday charts here. And we've got a green PTF on the 5-minute. So the time frames are really short for this because these are day trading time frames, 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 second. So really 15 seconds primarily just to see what the momentum is doing in here. So we kind of got a market that right now is flat. Okay, it's going sideways. So it's not really trending at this point. It was trending earlier, but not trending now. So we'll kind of see what we're up against here. So really no trade at this point, especially with a new red owl there. However, if it breaks out of this channel which this says it will do on the 5-minute chart, then we want to look for a long trade. So let's see here if this bottom holds. Let's see if it can come down and turn around. And then if we get any type of entry pattern after that, that could be a long trade up to the high here. Okay. So that's kind of where we're at with that. All right. Well, listen, I guess I'll leave it here. I think we're done for the day. I don't see any more stocks coming in. As Gene says, happy Friday to everybody. Let me quickly, before I go, just go over the winners today. All right. And I'm just going to bring my cam back online while I read these off to you. All right. So we got AMD. All right. That's the best trade for the day. I'm going to put a little star by that one because that one I really like. PFE, early entry, but I think it's okay. All right. RMD was good. And SPWR only for a long-term trade. Okay. So those are the ones for this week. They're all long trades, no shorts. And I think the market's going to continue at this point to go up for a good part of this summer. Okay. So keep that in mind. All right. So thanks for being here. And if you have any questions, you can always reach us at support@traderscoach.com. And I'll see you back here next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.